welcome back. I'm here now with Bill Wolf from Wolfie's. We're going to talk about nuts and home brewed supplies and beer. Turns out, lots of my favorite things.
Yes, mine too.
Yeah, I've never brewed my own beer, though. I think I'm just lazy,
well,
let's be honest.
It doesn't take that much to do, and it's really
I need to not be lazy?
No, it's about 5 hours over 5 weeks.
You could teach me how to do it.
I can.
Well, let's talk about...
Saturday of every month.
Easy enough, I'm in. Let's talk about what you do at Wolfie's.
Well, Wolfie's, we roast all kinds of different nuts. Jumbo cashews, redskins, and we have a proprietary patented product that we call crunchy nuts. And it was an old recipe that was brought up from Mexico back in 1960, patented in the United States. I bought the company in 1996. And we build a coating on top of these nuts, and then we dry them for a day, and then we dry roast them over an open flame in cast iron ovens that just tumble over the flame. So it's a unique process, dry roasted. And we flavor them in a lot of different ways. You know, we have hot, we have mild, we have just original, which is just kind of a sweet and salty taste. We have a beer nugget that's more salty, goes great with the adult beverage. We have a lot of kids that like that too. And we also do cashews and almonds and Brazil nuts and that type of stuff. So.
It sounds absolutely delicious.
Yes.
I'm in.
Okay.
I would like to try some of that.
You're hungry. So
yeah, well, I am hungry. I will try some of it, absolutely. So what made you decide to get into this business?
Well, I bought a little convenience store back in 1992, and when we were young, this is actually
I want to hold this up. This is a great picture. Can you see that, Matt? Is that... I don't know if that's... I've got a glare or not, but...
When I was a kid, this is the store Mom and Dad would give us a couple bucks, go get us a pound of boiled ham or ground beef or something. Maggie Phillips owned it. She would pump you a gas, full tank of gas, and then come back in and cut you a pound of ham. But she also did traditional roasted nuts, cashews, almonds, redskins, and that type of stuff. And when we were kids, there was a field behind this store, and if we went out there and we found returnable pop bottles, a long time ago.
Yes.
We'd go in and we would get these, she would give us a little bag of nuts, and you know, it had the oil dripping through the white bag, and this type of stuff. Well, that store was torn down in 77, and it was moved to a little strip mall, and continued to shop there. In 1992, I had the opportunity to buy it, so I did. And then I continued to roast the nuts the way that Maggie did.
Well, you went from just doing the nuts to adding in the home brewing. Well, what made you do that?
I tried to find something that would complement the nuts. You know, you can go to a supermarket and pick up a bag. These are special. They're special because of the way that we roast them. That's an old-fashioned technique that we continue to use. We spend a lot of money on our bags and our labels. So I wanted to move it up a notch, I guess. And so what I did was, what would go better with nuts, in my opinion, beer.
I totally agree.
So I started selling nothing but craft and imported beers in the store. For the longest time, you couldn't find a domestic popular beer, put it that way. And then I thought, I got to get into brewing beer here, because then I can brew to my, my flavor for the nuts. And believe it or not, about twice a year we hold a beer and nut tasting at the store, and we have our people tell us what goes best with our crunchy beer nuggets and what goes good with our spicy Southwest. And it's a lot of fun, because once you taste the nut and then drink the sip of beer, it changes the whole mouthfeel of the thing.
It really has become, craft beer has become a lot like wine. I mean, it's not just, we're not just drinking Miller Lite and Budweiser anymore, are we?
No, it's a wonderful experience. If you've never jumped from that level, you'd be surprised at the delicious type of beers that are out there.
Let's talk about the different, so you still carry the craft and imported beers as well? So what kind of things can I find at your store in that regard?
You can find stouts and porters, imperial stouts, imperial porters, Hefeweizen, authentic German beers. I carry a lot of domestic craft beers, like the Founders. IPAs are huge, so I got a lot of IPAs in there. Pale ales, fruit beers, flavored with raspberry, ginger, grapefruit, all that stuff. I carry all that stuff. And what's unique about my store is you can buy one bottle at a time. I sell most of our beers are one bottle at a time, so people come in and mix their own six-pack, mix their own gift pack or whatever they want to do. So, you know, you get this variety without saying, I don't know if I'm going to like that whole thing.
That's really great, when especially when you're trying those craft beers, because you don't know if you're going to like it.
No, you don't. And, you know, you may pick up a grapefruit beer just because it looks nice and the label's cute, but you don't know if you're
I'm
going to like
really bad about that. Yeah, the labels totally sell me every time.
And but you, the beer may be terrible.
Yeah, it very well may be.
So you buy one. And
I'm glad I didn't buy the whole six-pack.
That's right.
That's exactly right. Well, let's talk about the making, the home brewing.
Okay.
You have the supplies for that, and you can teach us how?
Right. I have everything that you need to brew your own beer. I have everything you need really to make your own wine. What the beer process is pretty simple. Either an extract, which is sugars that have already been manufactured by someone like Breeze or Muton's or something. That's the fastest way to do it.
Okay.
Okay. Once you get to be a more advanced brewer, you are going to actually make your own wort. Wort is what's called, before it's fermented, it's called wort, W-O-R-T.
Okay.
And so what we do is we take grains, and I crush them. I have a crusher or a mill. We mill them, and then you let those set. You kind of, what I want to say, steep them for about an hour or so. It's called a mash. And then you bring that into your kettle, and you start your boil. Add your hops or whatever you're going to add to it, fruit, whatever. Boil it for an hour to 90 minutes. Cool it down as quickly as possible, and then get it into a closed fermenter. And then pitch your yeast in there, and within 24 hours, you've got a little airlock that's just bubbling like crazy as the yeast eats the sugars. Okay, and that's processed. It goes for about 14, I go 14 days in the fermentation using 2 different vessels. And then I bottle it or keg it and leave it go for another 3 weeks. And then I start enjoying the beer. And I'll tell you what, I'll make better beer than I buy.
Well,
you make better wine than I buy.
Well, I'm going to have to come to you to find out all this stuff. We can find out more information on your website.
Yep, wolfiesnuts.com.
Wolfiesnuts.com, or give them a call. You definitely want to check it out, and I'm going to try some nuts now. We'll be right back on Better Living.
Thank you.